Hi, everybody. Sherry Sokolowski from SLS Event Planning and Consulting. I'd like to take this time to go through the different services that I have to offer to you, the opportunity to be able to serve you, to work with you, and to help you and your team out. So I'm going to jump over to my sites right now so that I can walk you through how you can go to my website and see the different opportunities that you have to work with me, SLS Event Planning. So you go to slseventplanning.com or slsplanning.com. Both will take you to the same site. And you can go up here, and if you click on the About tab, you're going to see a little bit of information about myself, my backgrounds, maybe a testimonial or two, and my experience, so that you can see a little bit more about who is Sherry and how can she help me out in event planning. And as you go over to the next tab, the next one is the Info tab. And this talks about, what do we do? What does SLS Event Planning do? Well, over here, if you are someone that is a vendor who likes to be a sponsor, has a service that could be very helpful to businesses out there, whether you want to be a virtual sponsor or a sponsor at a live event, an upcoming live event, then I would love to get your information. So you could click on here, Sponsors and Vendors Wanted, and it'll take you to join our sponsor list. And this is just basic information that you would fill out, and it would come to me, and then I start and add you into my Rolodex so that anytime I have someone who wants information that you have or service that you have to offer, I can refer them back to you. And then you go down here a little bit further, and it talks about the different comprehensive seminar consulting service packages that I have to offer. I also have strategy and consulting by the hour packages available to you as well. And I also am working on currently some more resources for you. I'm working on some online courses that will be added to our site here in the coming weeks and months that are broken down into certain areas of event planning that may be of help to you to do yourself. Instead of just hiring me outright, it might be an opportunity for you to check out in the future some online courses that you could invest in for yourself or your team. So definitely check that out. And there's also a link here to my SLS YouTube channel, which you actually are seeing this from my YouTube channel right now. And as you can see, there's tons of content, building block series on the different things from A to Z of what it takes to put an event together. I've got started in the last month or so an interview series of at least once a week where I'm interviewing different experts in the event and business industry on how to strategically market and plan your business and your event, whether it's live or virtual. So those are some new things that I'm working on as well. Over here, you can click on that and it'll take you right to my YouTube channel. This is the building block series for food and beverage, for example, is one of those. I want to go back up here. And of course, if you want to learn a little bit about who else I've worked with in the past, recommendations, referrals, that kind of thing, you can go to the Testimonials and Media page where it has an outline of different testimonials from my clients, former and past and current clients, where they have written about what it's like to work with me in SLS. Further down the page are some audio to podcasts that I've been doing. So I've been fortunate enough over the past few weeks to reach out to different podcasters. So if you're someone right now watching this and you're like, well, I have a podcast and a topic of anything to do with strategic planning for your business and your brand, whether it's through virtual or live events, then I would love to hear from you and see if I would be a good fit as a guest for you. But that's where you can get information here is, to hear what it is I have to say, or, the media portion testimonial tab of my website where you can listen. And these are just audios of the podcast. Anytime I've done a podcast that is a video, you'll find that on my YouTube channel. So these, there's going to be more coming soon, but there you have it. As a side note, This is one of my favorite verses. Let another man praise thee, thine, not thine own mouth, a stranger, not thine own lips. Proverbs 27:7. Because I believe what I do, I have to give all the glory to God. And this particular passage talks about how, my current and past clients have spoken about how I've been able to help them. So I just wanted to kind of point that out to you. It's one of my favorite verses and why it's there. The menu tab are all of the different services or products that I currently right now have available to you to invest. I have my Rockstar Assistant program. It's a actual physical course that would be mailed to you. And basically what that is if you are a business owner that is looking for someone to be your right hand, whether it is an executive assistant, an office manager, a project manager, or even maybe a CEO or vice president, a key role in your business where you're having a hard time fulfilling that role. This product I developed a number of years ago with the help of my mentor, Bill Glazer, because I was consistently being asked over the years as being his executive assistant, how do I hire someone like you? So I put together this program based on what I believe is the best way to find a rock star person for your business. And then I got some of Bill's insight on that as well. It's a really great program that will help you fulfill those roles. And it's also a product that you can use again and again within your businesses to fill pretty important roles, that rock star assistant type of role within your business. Then these other two that you see here is a new program that I introduced in 2020, and that is my private access table. What is that? That's sort of like a retainer. So every once in a while, I will have someone that says, Sherry, I have my own team. I don't really have the need to hire you to help me with my events, but what I could use your help on is that occasional question, or we together as a team have kind of come up against a wall and we're not quite sure what to do next or what to think of next, or this came back in my hotel contract and it doesn't look right to me. Can you take a look at it? Whatever the case may be. Or you want some new ideas. You want to introduce a new high-end service, but you're not quite sure what that should look like and how to make that offer. Anything along those lines can be utilized within this private access table. And what this is, it's two different types. There's a 60-minute per week where you're billed once a month, $997, very small investment, where you get access to me once a week for an hour. We can do a virtual call through Zoom so that it can be recorded, and I could share things or you could share things on the screen, and then I will provide that recording to you that you can use and go back to with your team. Or we can have a conference call and it'll still be recorded. So however you want to communicate on those 60 minutes is perfectly fine by me. And then the other one would be for 90 minutes per week. So every week for 90 minutes, you would have time with me. And that investment is a small fee of $14.97. And I would just ask that if you were someone that wants to do this, that it would be for a minimum of 3 months. And then anytime after that, if you want to cancel, feel free to cancel. There's no additional obligation to continue that. And the reason I ask for that 3 months is because the fee is so minimal compared to my hourly rate. Then here, this is the super fun part. If you click on the free report, it will bring you to this little fun picture that a friend of mine and photographer Nicole Benzel took of me at an event, where I'm going to be sharing with you 7 costly mistakes that you may make when you plan your own event. And it's an opportunity for you to gain more profit by finding ways to spend less and save more. So if you go to this part of my website, again, it's the free report link, the top left-hand corner, and you click on download now for your free report. It just asks for your name and your email. When you submit it, you'll get an email from me to verify that you definitely wanted to do this. And then when that happens, you will get an email with the link for you to download the PDF of this free report. It's pretty lengthy. It's about 12 to 14 pages, but it's got a lot of great nuggets in there for you to check out for yourself. Okay, the other part, so that you could see the other services that I'm able to offer to you, is another new program that's called the Event Playbook. Now, the customized strategic event playbook is something that I am super excited about. And quite honestly, this is a program that anyone who wants to do an event, whether it's live or virtual, at any point in time, it could be the end of this year, it could be 6 months from now, it could be a year from now, this program is for you. And the reason I say that is because it gives us the time to strategically work on your event. And what does that look like? And while we're doing this, it's a program that, depending on which program is right for you, whether it's an 8-step program that basically covers what an event is, what does it look like, and how to do it properly, or the 12-step, which covers all of the 8 steps, but also specifically goes into how to make the profit. Like, how do you maximize your profit with a live or virtual event, quite honestly? And that's what the 12-step program is. So this is really diving deep in, where each week we would get together, or however often you want to do it. It's all based on your schedule. We can meet a couple of times a week, every other week. It really is all dependent on your schedule and your timeline. And then we'd get together virtually, and I'd share things with you on the screen. You'd share stuff with me. And at the end of it, I would send to you something that you would have to implement. It could be a quick questionnaire. It could be templates that you have to fill out. Because if you recall, the name of the game is Customized Strategic Event Playbook. So what we're doing as we're working together is we are customizing what your event is going to look like based on how I work with you. We're going to figure it out together. You're not going to be in it alone. We're going to be figuring out what that looks like together, the type of event, how long it should be, the time of year, where it should be, what you should teach, the content, the topic, the theme, all of this. And we would customize it so that at the end of it, you were walking away with your very own customized playbook of what your event's going to look like. What you do with that is up to you. You can take it to your team and implement it right away and start working on it. As soon as you start putting all the important details together with me, you can even start doing that. Or you can say, Sherry, now that we figured it out together, I want to hire you to actually help me make it happen. And that is an option too, but it's not necessary for you to invest in this super awesome program. So if that's something that you would like to find out more about, then you would go over to this side of my website, put in your information. It just asks for a little bit more about you, so that when we do have a phone call, I'll have a little bit more information about your expectations, what your goals are, and what you may be thinking, so that it's more of a productive call, if you will, when we get on the phone. And then I have a video over here that talks even more about what this program is that I just shared with you now. This other thing over here is Let's Get Started tab. Is if you're watching this right now, thank you for watching, and you just want to hop on a phone call with me. I like to call it a discovery call, if you will. Just fill this information out here and let me know your areas of interest, and I'll get that email, and then we'll reach right back out to you to schedule a time where we can jump on a phone for 30 minutes, and we'll talk about this, and we'll figure out together what might be the next best step for you. Whether it's this is what I think you should be doing right now with your event, or maybe this particular service, program, or product that I, as SLS Event Planning, has that would be beneficial to you might be your next best step. There's so many different directions you could go once we have that discovery call. So if you would like to reach out to me, find out more ways that we can get together and see what might be next, then I suggest that you go to this Let's Get Started app and fill out this information, and then we could schedule that call. The Packages tab over here that I mistakenly jumped right over, I apologize, I wanted to get back to, talks about the different services that I have. There are many different ways that we can work together. And I want to say that very, very strategically, because when I started out 8 years ago, I decided I wanted to be customizable. I wanted to be able to work with you based on your needs. Not everybody has the same need when it comes to planning their event, or even creating an offer, or starting out your brand, or becoming that guru that you want to be within your own industry. So everybody has their own kind of way in life when it comes to your business, or you may be just starting out, or you may be reinventing yourself. It just really is all dependent on where you are. So I wanted to make sure that what I had to offer was very customizable. So these packages are just the starting point so that you know where you could come in when working with SLS. The first level is the event planning package number 1, and it's the premium negotiator plan. And it outlines exactly what does that mean. And there's 2 different levels, well, actually 3 different levels within that. If you just need somebody to be on your side and be that negotiator for you, to find that right venue, to negotiate a favorable contract that will bring you the best ROI possible when booking that venue, then this particular program is the right thing for you. You already have a team in place that can handle all of the details. You already have enough staff on hand to help manage things on site, but you need someone, an expert like myself, to be able to find you that right venue and negotiate a favorable contract that will save you money. And that's where this particular package comes into play. I'm not going to go into detail right now on the 3 different levels within, because you could see that here for yourself when you check it out on my website. And the prices are right there. There's nothing hidden. Then the next level is the event planning package number 2 that I like to call Plan It to the Minute. And that is everything that I talked about in level number 1, the highest level in number 1, and working hand in hand with your team, making sure all of your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed, making sure that everything that should happen happens, making people accountable for things that have to happen, figuring out who's responsible for what, thinking outside the box, if you will, as someone who is coming in as the event planning expert, letting you know things that you may have not thought of or perhaps missed. And that's what this Plan It to the Minute package is all about, is I come in and I am part of your team. And if you will have me do so, I can be that lead for your team, helping them through that process. So that's what that particular package is for. The next package is the event planning package number 3. This is the detailed execution plan. And that just means everything that is in number 1 and 2 is the details, but executing it means that I'm pretty much put in charge as your planner. And I go hand in hand. I'm like, okay, this needs to get done. Let's get that done. Whether I'm doing it or someone on your team's doing it, I'm helping managing to make sure it gets done. And it also means that I am on site with you and that I'm taking care of all of the details with your hotel and your venue. And if you've got speakers, making sure that they, along with the audiovisual team, knows what has to happen. I make sure your event runs on time. I am very quick on the fly if your event is running behind because a speaker went over or something happened and there's a delay. I quickly figure out how we can tweak the rest of the event in the next session, work with you or the MC on what that looks like. I make sure that the audiovisual team has everything that they need to have to make the event run smoothly. I work with your speakers to make sure that they're good to go. If you have sponsors, I make sure that they have what they need. All of the details that you should not have to worry about, or your team, quite frankly, because you should be focused on what's happening from stage. You should be worried about making that hand-to-hand contact with your clients, having an opportunity to engage with them instead of worrying about what's happening behind the scenes. So that's where this detailed execution plan comes into play. It is priceless, in my opinion, because it allows you to do what you need to do best and to have more return on your investment in the event, because now your focus is on the stage and on the clients in the room instead of worrying about what else is happening to make the event run smoothly. This other program is something new I introduced this year. It is the event planning package number 4. It's the customized event strategy with the detailed execution plan. So if you recall a little bit ago, I talked about the new program, the customized event strategy. And that is part of package number 3. So we combine the two. What's super cool about this is it means that we work together hand in hand from the absolute very beginning, figure out what that event looks like, make it the best it possibly can be strategically, customized, especially for you, and then together we will execute it. So that's what this particular package is. And then the 5th one is, let's say you say, Sherry, I'm not ready to actually book the event yet, but I want to strategize with you. Can I do it instead of through the 8-step program or 12-step program? Can we do it in a day? And that's where this comes into play. It's the customized event strategy day. So I would come to you and we would work together with your team, is where I would preferably suggest anyone that's going to be involved in the event, and you and I. And we will take that time through that day, maybe even a day and a half if necessary, to work out and strategize what needs to happen so that going forward, we're not stumbling over ideas. We're not trying to figure out things last minute. We know what has to happen and we're going to get it implemented and we're going to do it. So that's what the customized event strategy day is all about. And then these extra a la carte items are the concierge type of things that I offer to my clients, the sponsor concierge, speaker concierge. You can kind of see what those details are here. I don't want to spend a lot of time in the video talking about it, other than it's me hand-holding your sponsors and your speakers once they've been booked. It's taking that time to make sure their experience that they have signed on to get follows through, and that their experience is the best experience it could possibly be, because they have someone like myself to communicate with, get them the answers fast, and to get them the information that they probably didn't even realize or remembered that they needed to know, because everyone's so busy. You know, they're going from one thing to the next. So this concierge program for your sponsors or your speakers or both can also be an additional item that you can add to your investment in SLS. It's been one of those things that has been a saver to a lot of my clients over the years, because it makes their experience and their sponsors and speakers experience all that better. So I think I've covered everything here. My website, I believe, is very easy to go through. It's super helpful information in here. And you may find that when you first get onto my website, you'll have a pop-up that says an opportunity for you to sign up to receive information from us. The reason you're not seeing it now is because I've already did that. So once you sign up the first time and every time you come back to my website, you won't see it again. And something new that's going to be coming is I'm going to be slowly introducing new opportunities and new offers for you through my website. I find that it's best to make something that everybody needs right now be the offer. And that's what I'm working on right now. So I hope that my walking you through my website gives you a better understanding of the different services that me as a strategic event planner can offer to you. I would love to hear from you. I would love to get some questions from you and some interaction to find out how I could best serve you in the event industry, whether it be live or virtual. How can I best help you and provide you the needs that you have for building your business and your brand through strategic planning? This is Sherry from SLS Event Planning. I hope to hear from you soon. Stay in touch.